Hey, sports fans, football season is here, and it's time to get in on the action with MyBookie.net. MyBookie has real Vegas odds and incredible player props for all your favorite sporting events. MyBookie offers in-game live action on all pro and college football games. There's no better time to join MyBookie than today. Pull out your smartphone and visit our user-friendly mobile site for adrenaline on demand. Open your browser and type in MyBookie. What are you waiting for? Call 844-722-2387 or go online to join MyBookie today. No deposit necessary. Terms and conditions apply. Play for fun only. Void where prohibited.
Attention all sports bettors. FSN Info is the perfect place for you to make money today. They've just released another blowout winner, and it's available right now absolutely free on SBTVNation.com. FSN Info has 5 of the best experts in the world, known as the Top 5 Inner Circle. With over 100 years of combined experience, their winning percentages are unmatched by anyone in the industry. This is the information the Las Vegas sportsbooks do not want you to have. Go to SBTVNation.com right now and click on Free Winner for your free blowout winner today.
Have a product, service, or website to advertise on the biggest show in the world? The SBTV Nation podcast reaches tens of thousands of the best sports fans on the planet in over 194 countries worldwide. Take your business to the next level by advertising with us. Call us now at 872-529-SBTV or email us at sbtvnation@gmail.com.
Studio check.
Frequencies check.
We are live on air.
You are listening to the It Factor, blessing the airwaves. Take the journey into the world of sports, news, entertainment, while embracing the hottest beats on the planet. Rocking the mind, body, and with energy, electricity, and a splash of controversy. Now, without further ado, it's our pleasure to bring to you
the biggest show in the world.
The biggest show in the world.
The biggest show in the world. The SBTV Nation.
SBTV Nation, today is September 22nd, Thursday, and if you're a Met fan, we'd like to ask if you step down off the ledge.
The Metropolitan's dream 3-game sweep by the Atlanta Braves, and we had mentioned that on Monday that the Braves just love to play in Citi Field.
Man, the Braves are in right now with the Mets. How do you it's got to be so frustrating if you're a Met fan to get there, be on the precipice of going into the playoffs, and all of a sudden, this little bit of a collapse that's going on right now. It's got to be bothering you, but keep the faith because hopefully you'll still get in.
Well, the good news for the Metropolitans, guys, good morning to you, SBTVNation.com. We are live, and good news for the Metropolitan stream is that St. Lucia and the San Francisco Giants want to continue to lose as well. So
I love San Francisco. By the way, San Francisco Giants, no love lost for them losing.
No loss at all. Not at all, man. So looking at it, good morning to everybody. Guys, we're live on Twitter, SBTV Nation. Looking at the landscape of the MLB, we are basically down to about 12 games left in the MLB dream. The Mets are 9 games out of division, and their elimination number is 2 for the Washington Nationals. So basically, if the Nationals win and the Mets lose one more game, the Mets are eliminated, and the National League East title, they could still get the wild card, but the Washington Nationals would have closed the division.
All set. Now I'm all set with baseball. We can move on.
Not so fast.
No, I'm just joking.
So fast.
One more story in baseball that I do want to talk about is Yasiel Puig and Madison Bumgarner. I don't know if you guys are up on the antics that's going on with that particular matchup, but apparently there's some punking down going on as far as that's concerned. Maybe we need to put Yasiel Puig on our beatdown blotter as looked like he punked down Madison Bumgarner and don't look at me.
Exactly. And they had some big words, and the benches did crawl.
Benches did clear, some words back and forth. I don't really think the bum wanted anything to do with Puig, by the way.
Bumgarner's huge, by the way.
But it's like, if you look at the personalities, though, and the type of... By the way, Puig's not small.
By any stretch of the imagination, exactly.
Imagination, right. But I don't know. Just Puig looks like he's got that, like, I don't know. And plus, he's seems retarded. So I don't think Bumgarner really wanted to get involved with him.
Oh, exactly. So looking at the rest of the landscape of the MLB, since we're talking about baseball, Dream, I see that the Boston Red Sox aren't having it. They have won 7 in a row right now. They've won 3 in a row in Baltimore, and they are 5 games up on Toronto, 6 games up on Baltimore in the American League East.
Glad to see Boston's getting their thing done. Good to see them back on the rise again. I think they'll be a good team in the playoffs. I just don't know that their pitching is going to be enough to get them through.
Rick Porcello, Pomerantz, David Price pitches tonight. Clay Buchholz just rattling off the pitcher.
Clay Buchholz. You know, as soon as you say Clay Buchholz, I start cringing.
You just start thinking over, right?
Start thinking over and start thinking a long day, him walking off, glove in hand, everybody irate with him, popcorn and pop peanuts being thrown on the field. I think it's just disaster.
I think it's more David Price than him at this point that's getting peanuts thrown at him.
Listen, pound for pound, David Price right now, got him.
Yeah. Okay.
As far as the salary in pocket, not performing, overrated, any term you want to put as far as all that's concerned, David Price got him.
Exactly. So looking at the rest of the landscape that's going on in the American League Central, you've got Cleveland is 7.5 games up over Detroit. Detroit's magic number is 5 as far as being eliminated. So I think Cleveland will probably wrap up the division in the next couple of days. You got Texas over Houston and Seattle. Texas is 8.5 games up on Houston. So looks like they're going to win that division, Dream, unless there's an epic collapse.
Right.
And going
as far as David Price is concerned, we talk about him getting them and talk about him, receiving all that income and not really coming to panning out. However, with sports, it's what have you done for me lately and the last thing you did. If he goes out and is spectacular in the playoffs, they won't even care about what he did the regular season, and he'll be a hero. So he does have an opportunity to make up for the mess.
But you do remember his history in the playoffs.
I know.
Brutal. I love it because, David Price is bad in the playoffs. He's bad in cold weather. He's bad in all these other situations, and now he was bad in the summer. So what else you got to say for him?
But
getting paid big bucks. Exactly. So I don't know. He has to show up in the playoffs here. So I'm definitely going to be going.
And prostitution are the only 2 things that you can be bad in and still get paid.
Well, I've been talking about the Red Sox all year, man. So I'm hoping that they get it done in the American League. Looking at the National League Central, we already know that the Chicago Cubs have clinched, and obviously in the driver's seat right now with 97 wins, trying to cap off a 100-win season. And you got the Dodgers, who are 6 games up on San Francisco. The Giants are 8 games over 500 still, Dream, but 3-7 in their last 10 games. This team, the second half of the year, just imploded.
You know what? I feel really bad.
You feel really bad? I don't think so.
I feel really bad after what they did to me 2 years ago. Guess what? Good.
Right on.
Payback, baby. The dream gets you back. You play me, I play you. Exactly. Round and round we go on repeat and loop it out. Listen, I wanted to talk to you about the Seattle Mariners and what happened with them.
Well, Dream, they're pretty close in the wild card race.
Sure
if you
they
look
are.
at the wild card race right now, the way it sits, you've got them. They're only 2 games out of the wild card, and the way Toronto and Baltimore are playing, anything can happen. Even the New York Yankees are only 2.5 games out right now. Guys, the wild card situation, you got, if it ended today, it'd be Toronto versus Baltimore. You got Detroit 1 game out, Houston 1 game out, Seattle 2 games out, the New York Yankees 2.5 games out, Dream. And in the National League, you got the Mets, San Francisco, and St. Louis all tied at the same record.
And if you tuned in and you hear us talking about baseball and you're like, this can't be the SBTV Nation, it is.
It is. But you know what? We're coming into October, so we have to talk about it.
No, definitely. And guys, I've talked about all season long how baseball is not really, my thing for the most part during the regular season because it's just, for me, it's just too long of a season. However, I do get excited with the playoffs. You guys remember last year's playoffs and World Series? I mean, I was all over that. I was very excited. We had a lot of fireworks. The collapse of, the Houston Astros, that was kind of surprising. And, I will definitely embrace baseball once the playoffs start and it's, really, it's really on. I'm all over baseball and all over the World Series, so keep that in mind moving forward.
Only a couple weeks left, and I'm hoping that the Metropolitans get it done. They got Steven Mott's coming back, so, they're going to have to make up for the Degrominator being out for the season, Dream. But Mott's has been good, so we'll see what ends up going down. Just real quick, Dream, before we take our caller, let's just talk about what went on in the Philadelphia and Chicago Bears game on Monday night.
What went on was the Bears were the Bears, and the Eagles looked like they're dope, maybe. Yep. And now I see why they got Wentz and why they let Sam I Am go, because obviously somebody in the Philadelphia Eagle organization saw the talent of this kid and saw the poise and decided, hey, let's just put him out there and let's go. You look around the NFL, and it still makes you scratch your head at what's going on in St. Louis, with the Goff situation as far as him not starting, because we have a bunch of young rookie quarterbacks starting now. Most of those quarterbacks are starting due to the starter going down and getting injured, with the exception of Philadelphia. But it still makes you wonder, because Wentz looks really good. He looks really great. We saw him now at home. We've seen him now on the road. Of course, not against powerhouse defenses, but it's still impressive when you take it from the standpoint of this is a rookie in his second NFL start.
Right. So, hey, we'll see. I mean, Philadelphia right now, 2-0, Dream.
2-0?
2-0 without Chip Kelly.
What I was getting ready to allude to without Chip Kelly. I was getting ready to allude to success without Chip Kelly. I was getting ready to allude to not needing to run a million plays and still win. I was ready to allude to all of those particular things, but yeah, Philadelphia has been kind of impressive in their two opening games. I have to say, I like what they've shown me on defense. They've been able to implement their run game a little bit. I like the way Matthews looks. I like the way Jordan Matthews looks, even though he dropped the long pass on Monday night. But I really like what Philadelphia's done so far. And I've always undercoverly felt Philadelphia was a very talented team, but just never seemed to get it together. And it looks like they may have gotten it together. So hats off to them. And, it's all about sometimes sticking to your guns and, taking a chance and taking a gamble. At least they've made some smart decisions and gotten rid of some mess when they've had it and, tried to rebuild the organization in the proper way. Parting ways with Chip Kelly looks like it might be panning out, even though the San Francisco decided to embrace him. I think that at the end of the day, Chip Kelly is more built for college football than for pro football, but that still remains to be seen. We'll take a look at that over the next year and a half. I think he's better for college. But back to the Eagles, great job by them. And moving forward, I'm telling you, do not take this team lightly, because they are in that NFC East.
Yeah, right.
I've talked about the Giants being the best team in the NFC East, but as we move on and the Phillies able to maintain this poise and stay this polished and look this good and able to execute the way they have been so far, we are going to have to pay them some attention as well.
And they are doing it defensively. Bringing the momentum right from preseason into the regular season, Dream.
Sure they are.
I think I've got my caller calling in. Just give me 1 second here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, on the phone right now, we have a special call-in guest, Mr. John Evans, who is the owner and CEO of the Final Score Network. FSN Info is a good friend of our show, obviously, and they're coming off the Week 1 3-0. We'll make that 4-0 with Charles J's play with the under in the Miami and Seattle game, as you guys remember 2 weeks ago. I'm going to bring you right now, Mr. John Evans. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Rob.
How are you today?
I'm doing great. It's great to be back on the show.
Absolutely. So looking at this here and, just want to let the listeners know a little bit about yourself, a little bit about the Final Score Network and your background in the business, because Charles J's been on. Now I'd like to get the man on himself.
Great. And Charles did a great job coming off of 4-0 Week 1 with his performance. Gave out a free game, which I'm going to give a free game out today to all of your listeners, Rob. But I've been in the business full-time for almost 30 years. I started the Final Score Network, FSNinfo.com, as a way to make my clients money from the best information available. I learned a long time ago that in order to be successful at this business and make my clients money, I could not do it by myself. And I created the Top 5 Inner Circle because I wanted to be surrounded by the absolute best in the industry. the top 5 inner circle, together with my years in the business, we have over 130 years of combined experience. And as a result of my hard work and dedication, FSN Info has been consistently winning for our clients now for almost 30 years.
Nice. Yeah, I'm taking a look at the games that you guys had, and I got to be honest with you. I mean, you picked a couple of real ballsy plays here. This is Charles J. and the boys over at FSN Info. So I'm looking at the under in the Miami-Seattle game. We talked about that right on the show. That was the free play. You actually got involved with Denver as far as an underdog, and they won the game outright. You had California +6. They lost by 5, but you covered your spread. And you had San Diego Chargers, who should have beat Kansas City in that game, +6.5, and you were able to sneak out. Once you went into overtime in that game, you were good with the 6.5.
Absolutely.
So congratulations to you guys, and I hope you could bring the winning ways back this week.
We're going to do it, and all of your listeners can go to the homepage, Rob, sbtvnation.com. They can go now and click on the FSN 3-day special offer. They have 3 ways to receive a winner. They can register online to receive the winner by email. They can enter their phone number and receive the winner via text. Or for any of your players who want to have a repeat performance of the 3-0, right now we are releasing the FSN 3-day 3-winner. It's guaranteed 3-0, Rob. They must win all 3 games, or the rest of September is absolutely free. They're going to get tonight's Thursday night game, Houston, New England, Saturday's marquee matchup with Florida and Tennessee, and Sunday's big game between Denver and Cincinnati. These are 3 of the best games coming out of the top 5 inner circle, and this weekend your SBTV listeners can take advantage of it and get all 3 of the VIP winners.
Fantastic. So I understand that you got a game that you love on Saturday that's a collegiate matchup, and you're going to give it to our listeners absolutely free. What do you got?
I'm going to give them a free game right now, Rob. This is direct from the Final Score Network Trend Room, FSNinfo.com. Trend Room game is Nevada-Purdue at noon Eastern time on Saturday. Line showing right now Purdue -6, total 58.5. We're going to talk about that total. The over in this game, Rob, is 4-0. The last 4 times that Purdue's played overall. It's also 4-0 in their last 4 games after allowing more than 450 total yards in their previous game. They gave up 504 yards to Cincinnati. The total's over 6-0 in their last 6 home games. 6-1 in their last 7 games on grass.
Wow.
And 4-1 in their last 5 games following a double-digit loss at home. They lost to Cincinnati 38-20, losing by 18 points. We're going to go over in this game, over 58.5, Nevada-Purdue at noon Eastern time on Saturday.
And you know what? I'm noticing that line is already starting to climb. So, I mean, if you guys want to get involved with that, I would do it right now, because that could be over 60s by game time.
I wouldn't be surprised if it gets a lot of action on the over. I think it might have opened at 57, and it's on the way up.
It's on the way up, exactly. So the record was pretty impressive in Week 1, and we're looking at tonight's matchup here, and I'm dying to know what you got to say about tonight's matchup, because you've got a third-string quarterback in. Not sure if Garoppolo's going to be out there, but what do you got for tonight's matchup?
Wow, Houston, New England. So 8:25 Eastern time tonight on CBS. Line currently showing Houston -1. The total's 40.5. Both teams looking to stay unbeaten and start the season 3-0. Last time they met was December last year. New England went into Texas and won easily, 27-6. And that's the game, Rob, I'm sure you remember, that running back LeGarrette Blount left with a hip ailment and landed him on the injured reserve. And he's already rushed this year for 193 yards and 2 touchdowns this season. I don't think that Houston's coach, Bill O'Brien's going to be doing any crying for Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots, who are going to have to, as you mentioned, probably start their 3rd-round rookie, Jacoby Brissett, in the game tonight at Foxborough. O'Brien, you remember, coached under Belichick in New England from 2007 to 2011. He worked his way up from offensive assistant to coordinator. And last year, he had his own issues going round and round with quarterback problems. Now they finally have some stability with this very expensive offseason acquisition of Brock Osweiler, while New England's had to shuffle quarterbacks because of Tom Brady's suspension and now Jimmy Garoppolo's shoulder injury. But you're asking about Jimmy. New England has kept the door open for Garoppolo to still dress for tonight's game. They also have wide receiver Julian Edelman. He went to Kent State and played quarterback. He could be available if they need him in an emergency. But, the top 5 Inner Circle loves this matchup, and it is one of the 3 guaranteed winners available to your listeners, Rob. They go to the homepage, SBTVNation.com right now, and click on FSN 3-day special offer. They are guaranteed 3-0. You must win all 3 games or the rest of September is absolutely free. Tonight's game, Houston, New England. Saturday, Florida, Tennessee, and Sunday, Denver, Cincinnati.
Interesting. And I'm also looking at Rob Gronkowski is listed as questionable for tonight's game. And you got to love Bill Belichick kind of just leaving people hanging with his roster.
Absolutely. He's the master of it.
He is the master. And I'm looking at this line here. It actually went from Houston -2.5 all the way down to New England getting a point. So it moved a 1.5 already. And the under-over is 40.5. And I noticed in the last game that they had Brissett actually, they dialed down the offense because they had such a big lead versus Miami. And they dialed it down, but now I'm expecting him to throw the ball a little bit more considering the fact that he's had a week of practice.
I think that he will, and the line movements are one of the reasons why the information is so valuable, Rob. If you get a game with a big line move and you get it at the right line, you turn a potential push or a loss into a win by getting it at the correct number, and that's what the top 5 Inner Circle is great at.
Fantastic. And I did notice, too, that the New England secondary got torched by Ryan Tannehill. You don't say that often.
Yeah, he was doing his thing out there and looked great.
All right, fantastic. So once again, guys, you are listening to Mr. John Evans from FSNinfo.com, and I'm happy to have you guys on our website. Very excited about hearing. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to get involved and take your 3 plays this week, and I never do that. But I'm going to do it considering the fact that you've got Charles J. on your side and the rest of the boys on there. So I'm going to do it, and I'm going to put it in a 3-team parlay. What do I got to lose?
Okay. I wish you the best of luck with it, and it's great being on the show, Rob. Wish the best of luck to all of your listeners this weekend. Have fun with the games, and hopefully we can chat next week after going 3-0.
All right. Fantastic, guys. This is John Evans, FSN Info. Just go to our website right now, SBTVNation.com. Click right on the banner where you can find these guys, and hopefully they can make us some real money this weekend. So best of luck to you, John. Thank you very much for calling.
Thank you, Rob. Have a great day.
Take care. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with tonight's college matchup. We've got Clemson, Georgia Tech.
Looking to win big this football season? Go to smpicks.com, the #1 sports expert in picking winners. Everyone wants that winning edge. At smpicks.com, you'll get 30 years of experience in picking big winners on all sports with our team of experts. At smpicks.com, it's all about being a winner. Owner Scott Matthews just can't see it any other way. Visit right now at smpicks.com and receive your first huge winner on us, absolutely free. That's right, all listeners receive your first huge winner on us, Scott Matthews, a great American. It's absolutely free. That's right, free just by registering at smpicks.com/SBTV.
Hey, sports fans, football season is here, and it's time to get in on the action with MyBookie.net. MyBookie.net is the first and only sports action website with real Vegas odds and incredible player props for all your favorite sporting events. The best part is there are no sign-up fees and no deposits required to join, play, or win. From pro to college football, MyBookie.net lets you play online and win big. There's no better time to join MyBookie than today. Go online to MyBookie.net to open an account to start playing with the big boys. MyBookie has proven to be the most exciting online experience for all sports fans. Get in on the action. Visit MyBookie.net today. Call 844-722-2387. That's 844-722-2387. Or visit MyBookie.net today. MyBookie.net is the real deal. Only the biggest, only the best, only at MyBookie. Sign up today. No deposit necessary. Terms and conditions apply. Play for fun only. Void where prohibited.
DigitalMuscle.com, the fitness industry's media hub. Home to the most knowledgeable, influential, and inspiring members of the worldwide fitness community. DigitalMuscle.com, the exclusive home of the Arnold Classic webcast, Pro Bodybuilding Worldwide Radio, and the new Digital Muscle blogosphere. Join us at the fitness industry's media hub, DigitalMuscle.com. DigitalMuscle.com.
Attention all sports bettors. FSN Info is the perfect place for you to make money today. They've just released another blowout winner, and it's available right now absolutely free on SBTVNation.com. FSN Info has 5 of the best experts in the world, known as the top 5 inner circle. With over 100 years of combined experience, their winning percentages are unmatched by anyone in the industry. This is the information the Las Vegas sportsbooks do not want you to have. Go to SBTVNation.com right now and click on free winner for your free blowout winner today.
All right, Dream, we're back. I got a little Just Blaze on for you. What do you think about that? I figured, you know what? I wanted to switch it up a little bit, considering the fact that you've been wanting me to play love music like nonstop. What do you got going on, man? You got a little something happening over there or what, man?
Squaring off tonight with a nice ACC matchup where there'll be no love lost between the Clemson Tigers and the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. We got Mr. Deshaun Watson at the QB position tonight, trying to make his Heisman hopeful, campaign.
Yes.
Up against Justin Thomas for the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Now, Justin Thomas, we know a lot about Deshaun Watson. We probably know nothing about Justin Thomas out there. However, 19 for 38, 335 yards, 1 touchdown. Also, 25 carries for 169 yards on the ground. Now, when you run this triple option offense, the quarterback has the option to get the running back involved,
right? Or
in the case of a guy that's trying to get into the NFL, hog the ball and keep it for himself and try to score as much as possible, which could be the case in Justin Thomas's situation. However, it would behoove him to get everybody involved playing if he wants to not get blown out and embarrassed tonight, as Deshaun Watson and the boys look like they might be in the right direction as they beat SC State last week 59-0. Finally got the offense a little bit going. We talk about Watson. We know that he is an incredible talent. We know what he did last year. Obviously, national title game against Alabama. This Clemson team was a force to be reckoned with last year. He's 58 for 102, 692 yards, 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions on the season. Galman's been getting it done on the ground, 197 yards, 2 touchdowns, 48 carries. So, they're giving you the 1-2 punch through the air and obviously on the ground. The flip side of that is what the defense is doing, able to hold SC State last week to a shutout.
Right.
Which, anytime you shut any team out, extremely impressive because it is so hard to shut a football team out. You got special teams where you can score. You've got turnovers. There's so many additives or parts of the game that you can score from. So you have to always keep that in mind,
right?
When you're talking about a shutout and how impressive that is from a team standpoint. So Clemson's got to be coming into the game with a lot of momentum and feeling themselves. On the flip side of that, Georgia Tech got to be feeling themselves a little bit too. Beat Vandy 38-7. And I got to say that Vanderbilt, even though they do stink, which I told you that last week, guys, with the live eye test that I had with Vanderbilt, they're still, in my opinion, better than South Carolina State and Troy, which are the 2 teams that Clemson played. Georgia Tech was able to really dominate this Vanderbilt team, holding them only to 1 touchdown, and they beat Mercer 35-10.
Mercer Madness, Dream.
Mercer Madness.
So looking at it here, I see both defenses are not giving up many points. Georgia Tech only gives up 10 points, where Clemson only gives up 12.3 per game. And when you look at it here, both offenses are scoring over 30. Clemson 36, Georgia Tech 30. That triple option has been pretty successful this year in collegiate football, Dream.
pretty successful. The thing you look at that I do find slightly maybe problematic for Georgia Tech is they do allow 305 yards. That's a little bit on the high side considering the competition that they've played.
Yeah.
So if you want to allow 305 yards to the Clemson Tigers tonight,
it's going to be more like 400 or 500.
Could be some slow singing and flower bringing.
Well, when you look at this matchup here, when these two teams have played each other, Georgia Tech is 2-4 straight up in the last 6 games when playing Clemson, and 2-4 against the spread when playing Clemson as well. Georgia Tech, I mean, they are 3-0, but you remember last year they were 1-9. Add that with the 3-0, it makes them 4-9 in the last 13 games. The challenge I have with this game, Dream, you already know what it is, right?
Go.
Home team underdog on primetime.
I'm
serious. You got to look at that. And this total, believe it or not, guys, this total has gone from 53.5 all the way to 58. So it looks like people are on the over here, Dream, with these two defenses playing as good as they've been.
Well, the thing about this game is, first of all, I can't emphasize more how important it is for the free safety and strong safety to be involved on Clemson's side as far as defending a triple option. The free safety and strong safety have to cue in on the quarterback and attack.
Right.
The free safety and strong safety attack depending on whether they're running to the strong side or the weak side, and you're able to attack appropriately. This triple option can be a nightmare as far as not getting anything done if you've got an effective free safety and strong safety that are able to, adjust. Now, the other thing is, if the free safety and strong safety bite too quickly and bite too often, somebody in Georgia Tech's offense, or probably offensive coordinator, who they should have up in the booth, is probably going to notice that, and you're probably going to say, okay, we need to throw over the top because it's going to be wide open. So it's kind of you have to play it out and you have to feel it right. This is a game, it is triple option. When defending this triple option, it is one of those almost gut feeling. You have to play gut feeling defense, like where you feel from your gut that he's going to, get rid of the ball, or you feel from the gut that he's going to pass the ball and react on that. So there's certain little indications that are going to give you that. I don't know that Clemson's defense I don't know whether their free safeties and strong safeties are up to that. I know they're capable of it. Will they respond to it, and how effectively they will respond is still the question mark. We remember, I don't know if you guys remember, but I do remember Georgia Tech playing against Florida State a few years ago. Florida State's strong safety and the free safety would not commit at any point. They would not commit, and it made them look so silly against Georgia Tech because Georgia Tech was able to be so successful against that defense. So I hope Clemson has reviewed the film. The defensive coaches and coordinators have gotten really with those two guys or 4 guys, however many they're going to use in that particular package, the backups along with the starters, and get them on the same page because they are going to be the determining factor as to the outcome of this particular matchup.
Couldn't agree more with you on that, Dream. This game scares me, though. I think that this is probably one of the biggest tests right now for the Clemson Tigers.
Oh, definitely.
Considering the fact that they have played, at Auburn, I get it, but Auburn's not that great. Troy, and then last week's debacle, with the 59-0 win. So it's going to be a good one here. And I would imagine that the boys over at Georgia Tech will be pretty damn amped for being on national TV as a home team underdog on prime time, brother.
Mr. Weave, listen, you got to fall back with your little Clemson stats from last year because they have not been impressive.
No.
Okay, because beating Troy, by the way, by 6 points.
Yes.
You want to throw that into your little stat.
And the fans stormed the field after the Troy 6-point victory. And this is supposed to be one of the top 5 teams in collegiate football right now.
I'm gonna ask that you move yourself from the driver's seat, get up in the back.
Yes.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna put you in the kiddie seat right now. Put you in the baby chair, the 5-year-old little chair, and strap you in real quick for a minute. We're gonna go with kid gloves on this game. I know what Clemson is capable of. I just haven't seen it come to fruition so far this season, with the exception of the South Carolina State game, which I'm not going to get excited about South Carolina State. This will be a true matchup, and I'm willing to see them. And we just having a little fun with you, my boy. But it is time for the Clemson Tigers to step up, because I got to be honest with you right now. everybody's looking at Louisville, which may be cool for Clemson because they don't want all the attention, but Louisville looks like a problem.
They do. And before we get into our opinion of this segment is brought to you by MyBookie.net. MyBookie is the only football contest site where you can play for fun and win for real, whether you're an expert or a rookie. Play now at MyBookie.net. Do the contests over there. Use the promo code SBTV. Dream, do you have a side on this game tonight?
No, I don't have a side. What, a side?
A side. Come on.
I'm taking Brad Pitt's side, and Brad Pitt is only about for divorce. I'm taking
Brad Jelena?
Because Brad is about to get taken to the bank.
I don't know. They're pretty similar financially. I think they're all right.
Brad didn't wild out. He mad on the plane. Got DCF looking at him right now, boy. You thought you had it bad today? Think about what Brad Pitt is going through.
Yeah, this game bothers me. I don't like this game one bit at all. I could see this going back and forth and everybody screaming. And this did go from 13 points down to 9.5. So it looks like there might be some action coming in on Georgia Tech, Dream. I don't know. Maybe Georgia Tech is the real deal this year. I mean, they are 3-0. So who knows? And they did beat up on a bad Vandy team. I do understand that. But this one here can be up and down, back and forth, left and right. I just don't know if I'd feel like putting my money on this game, whether it's on a primetime game or it's right smack in the middle of a Saturday card. This one bothers me, especially that these two teams know each other pretty damn well in the ACC.
Definitely.
All right. So are you on the same play? Is it a no play for you?
No play.
It's a no play. All right. And you know what? It's very, very hard for me to even consider taking an under in this play. Even though these two defenses have not given up many points, you know, when you look at how Clemson has that prolific offense that could just bust out at any point, because, you know, we've been still waiting for it, Dream. You know,
we have been waiting for it. Yeah. I've really been waiting for it. I want Clemson to do their thing and look. I mean, I want them to look like the powerhouse that we alluded to them being at the beginning of this season, which they haven't really panned out to look like most of this season so far. I'm ready. I'm waiting.
Still waiting, right?
Still waiting.
Exactly.
It's starving like Marvin for a Cool J song. So,
guys, if you have any thoughts on this game, you have any sides, feel free to hit us up because we'd like to know, everybody in the nation, what side you guys are on in this game. Because, hey, you know, this one's got me scratching my head a little bit. I have to be 100% honest with you. So, best of luck to you on this game. If you are out there gambling on it, it is at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Clemson at Georgia Tech. Dream, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. We will talk about the key MLB matchups and Thursday Night Football. Guys, you're listening to your boys at the SBTV Nation.
DigitalMuscle.com, the fitness industry's media hub, home to the most knowledgeable, influential, and inspiring members of the worldwide fitness community. DigitalMuscle.com, the exclusive home of the Arnold Classic webcast, Pro Bodybuilding Worldwide Radio, and the new Digital Muscle blogosphere. Join us at the fitness industry's media hub, DigitalMuscle.com. DigitalMuscle.com.
Looking to win big this football season? Go to SMPicks.com, the #1 sports expert in picking winners. Everyone wants that winning edge. At SMPicks.com, you'll get 30 years of experience in picking big winners on all sports with our team of experts. At SMPicks.com, it's all about being a winner. Owner Scott Matthews just can't see it any other way. Visit right now at SMPicks.com and receive your first huge winner on us, absolutely free. That's right, all listeners receive your first huge winner on us, Scott Matthews, a great American. It's absolutely free. That's right, free, just by registering at SMPicks.com/SBTV.
Have a product, service, or website to advertise on the biggest show in the world? The SBTV Nation podcast reaches tens of thousands of the best sports fans on the planet in over 194 countries worldwide. Take your business to the next level by advertising with us. Call us now at 872-529-SBTV or email us at sbtvnation@gmail.com.
All All right, Dream, welcome back to the show.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Got the music.
Favorite right there in the background as I love that particular track right there. Hey, want to send a big shout out to AJ Green and wife Miranda as they welcome their first child, Easton Ace Green, on Wednesday.
Nice.
Miss Green is a proud parent. And hey, congratulations.
Welcome to the headaches.
Welcome to the... Stop it.
Welcome to the headaches.
No, this is, you know what? It's a lot of joy. Listen.
No, there's a lot of joy, but there's a lot of headaches too.
It's a lot of joy. It's a lot of headaches. You know, it's kids are just interesting. You know, they can drive you crazy, but they make you feel great. My little guy was actually sick yesterday. They sent him home from school sick. So my man gets to the crib and he thinks it's like, yo, time to just, it's playtime. I'm like, hey, Money, you're sick.
Yeah, right.
Pajamas, go hop in the bed. He's like looking at me like I got 5 heads. He's like, yo, let me get the iPad. Let me get the Xbox 360. Dad, can I get some snacks? I'm like, dude, you're supposed to be sick.
I know. They always do that.
So I go downstairs. My man hijacked his lunchbox, grabbed the juice box and the snack out, started clobbering that right in the living room, spilled the juice on the couch, just doing his usual. Yeah. I walk upstairs, I'm like, did I put you to bed?
Got it.
He's looking at me grinning and stuff. So yeah, kids, bittersweet. It can be a lot of fun. Hopefully not as much headache.
It is a bittersweet, exactly, because my son's a teenager now that knows everything. So it's very tough to kind of chill him out with the attitude a little bit, man, because he's got the teenager attitude going, Dream.
Yeah, I get that, and I know I'm not looking forward to that. I already went through that with my daughter.
Yes.
Not looking forward to that with my 2 sons, especially. I got to be honest with you. My little dudes, I can see some jacking up going down because they already are somewhat challenging at this young age, and they are gonna have to be put in line and in check because we don't have it at the crib. You know, we don't do it like that. And at some point, I just feel like, I mean, you've been there.
Yes.
You've been when your son had to test you for a little minute, be like, hey.
Yeah, right, exactly. All right, guys, so we're going to jump right into the MLB card because there's a couple of quick games that I want to talk about. There's actually 3 on the board. You got Boston, the Red Sox at Baltimore. David Price on the bump versus Chris Tillman. Boston minus 145 with an under-over of 8.5. Dream, this Boston Red Sox team is still getting the recognition and the love from the Vegas sports books because they're minus 145. They're a favorite in Baltimore with David Price. Talk to me about the numbers here.
Well, first of all, when you talk about the Boston Red Sox, you have to talk about the little bit of you want to call it a streak that they're on right now, Hat?
Oh, yeah. Big time. 7 in a row.
And one of their Achilles heels has been on the road, yet they've been successful finally. They're putting David Price on the mound tonight. He's 16 for 8 with 3.91 ERA. He's going up against Tillman, who's 16-6 with a 3.72 ERA. When we talk about the Baltimore Orioles, we do talk about them being 47-30 at home, and the Red Sox 42-32 on the road.
Exactly. So looking at this particular matchup here, guys, Baltimore, as you know, has lost the last 3 games to the Boston Red Sox in Baltimore, which I think is pretty impressive for Boston because Baltimore's been a tough place to play all year long. Boston is 6-2 in the last 8 games when playing Baltimore this year, and they're 7-1 straight up in the last 8 games. You know what, Dream? Anytime this team is down, you just never can count them out because offensively, this team is a beast. They're averaging over 5.5 runs a game. And, you know, when you look at them here, they are 24 games over 500. They are trying to put the foot on the jugular with the Baltimore Orioles. Must win for both teams, especially the Orioles. The Orioles have all these teams breathing down their neck for the wild card spot. They want to keep losing games. They're going to be on the outside looking in.
Well, it is what it is. And you know we've talked about before these teams in these must-win situations, yes, i.e. the Mets, just not able to get it done, which I just can't for the life of me figure that out. I mean, I know it's sports, and I know obviously the other team wants to win as bad as you do, but you would think that there's that extra. When I watched the Mets the other night, because I did watch one of their games, I saw it like they looked like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, right. Exactly. like you know what it is? Because San Francisco sucks so bad. They're like, oh, we could lose, and they're going to lose too, so it don't really matter. We'll just play the Cardinals. That seems to be the way it is.
I honestly, though, sometimes we laugh and we make fun of it, but sometimes it does seem like that, doesn't it?
It certainly does. So moving on here, I mean, Boston continues their winning ways. There's no way in hell I would ever bet against them. But Baltimore at some point needs to win here. You got the New York Metropolitans, who have the luxury, had the luxury of having the Braves and the Phillies in 10 of their last 13 games. Well, they managed to lose 3 in a row to the Braves in Citi Field, but they're staying put in Citi Field and welcoming the Philadelphia Phillies. You got Adam Morgan versus Seth Lugo. The Mets minus 210 with an under-over of 8. Is anybody out there chasing the Mets? Because I feel very, very bad for you if you do, because you've been minus 200s. So your bankroll's probably not looking so good when you woke up this morning. Dream, what do you got for numbers on these guys?
I have a little warning about the Mets. I want to give the Mets right now. If y'all want New York to not go bananas.
Yeah, right.
Do not get swept by the Phillies in your crib, please. Because New York is kind of, they're holding their breath right now. They still didn't go nuts about this Brave thing. Dying too, though. But do not get beat by the Phillies.
No.
Swept by the Phillies, they are going to lose their mind. But you got Seth Lugo on the mound tonight in Citi Field. This game, 7:10 Eastern Standard Time start. Lugo's 4-2, 2.36 ERA. He's going up against Morgan. Morgan is 2-10 with a 5.57 ERA. The Phillies, 33-41 on the road, and the Mets are 41-36 at home. Metropolitans need to go out there and get it done tonight. The weather's predicted to be at 74 degrees.
Exactly. And if you are a $100 bettor with the New York Mets, if you bet them every single game this year, you are down over $1,000, Dream. Even though they're 8 games over 500. They're always so heavily juiced with all that pitching. So looking at Philadelphia, when playing in Citi Field, they are the polar opposite of the Atlanta Braves. They're 4-12 straight up in the last 16 games when playing at Citi Field, guys. And the Mets, you back out that Braves series, they are realistically winning about 75 to 80% of their games in Citi Field over the last couple of weeks. So I think the Mets will bounce back. I just don't know if I trust them at this point. They got me the other day with Thor. So I think I'm going to kind of stay away from this one as well. Kind of get a look at it.
Baseball.
What's that?
He said, you know how I feel about baseball. I'm going to be good until the playoffs hit us.
Yeah, exactly. So I hope the Mets are there, though, because, I've got a little play going with the Mets versus the Red Sox.
Okay.
Little World Series rematch. So We'll see what goes. It pays stupid money. So all I got to do is get them to win a playoff series or 2, and I am in really good shape. You got the last one here on the ticket, and then we're going to get into Thursday Night Football. We got St. Louis at the Chicago Cubs. Mike Leake versus Jake Arrieta. There's no line posted on this yet. Actually, I'm sorry. That one is tomorrow, Dream. So we'll get into that one tomorrow. St. Louis at Chicago. That's going to be a great series, guys, because it's interesting because these two teams know each other very well. But Chicago has already basically clinched the division, which they have. And I believe, I don't really see how far. Let me just look at the record here. They have 97 wins. So, they would have to have an epic collapse not to be the top seed in the National League.
When you look at baseball, and I think maybe this is one of the reasons why I don't necessarily embrace baseball the same as I embrace, other sports. I know we can have the term any given Sunday as far as football is concerned, right, and that's generally true, except for certain situations where it's any given Sunday, but probably not, though. You know what I mean? When you look at, as far as this weekend was concerned, you look at the Patriots versus the Miami Dolphins. It's any given Sunday, but I think everybody in the country felt like the Patriots would win. When you look at baseball, only because when you look at football, you look at execution as far as the way the offense executes, the methodical way they're able to move the ball up and down the field, the way the defense executes, the way they respond in certain situations. You can spot all that and see all that, and you can definitely spot a difference in each team. The way a baseball team, I would say, plays defense or catches fly balls, do you really think it's that much? I can look at the Patriot defense, and I can look at the Dolphin defense, and I can tell you in spot differences. I can't look at the Pirates outfield and the Brewers outfield and say, okay, well, they catch a fly ball better than they catch a fly ball.
More athletic.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. I understand what you're saying.
That sometimes comes into play as far as baseball is concerned. It may be one of the reasons why I may not embrace baseball quite as I embrace other sports, because you can't, I feel, just look at the game with the eye test and spot and definitely see, hey, this team's hands down better than that team. On certain nights, you may see it. Mostly with the pitching, you get to see it with the pitching, but outside of that, I don't see that big difference that you can see in football situations.
Very good point, Dream. Well, you know what? They do play 162 games, so that's a big difference. That's 900% more games than a football player does.
Imagine if we had 162 football.
Forget it. You would nobody be playing. Everybody be injured.
Everybody be in. Well, you know what? They filter them and rotate them in. But then maybe you'd see a lackadaisical attitude in some of these teams in some of their games. They'd be like sitting guys. Hey, all right, well, we're not starting the whole first. I see Belichick. Well, we're not going to play our starters for like 4 months.
I'd much prefer 16-game baseball season.
Yeah, right?
That would be incredible. So anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about Thursday Night Football. Since we're talking about football, let's have a conversation about the game tonight, Dream. There is a game tonight.
Really?
Yes, there is. It's called Thursday Night Football, and you've got the New England Patriots hosting the Houston Texans. New England is a home team underdog on primetime, getting 1 point. So the line, as we talked about earlier with FSN Info, the line was 2.5. Now it's down to 1, with New England being an underdog here. Under over 40.5 points. I'd like to hear what you've got to say as far as your research on this game.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, I don't have a whole hell of a lot to say because, for starters, I don't know who the hell the quarterback is tonight. I mean, we have a little bit of an idea. I'm not sure who the quarterback is. And you know Belichick plays with his injury report. He's the guy that started that whole injury report lying thing going on. So who knows what's going to happen? I'll be surprised if they got like the suspension lifted at 4:00 and Uncle Tom comes in place tonight.
Good point.
But anyway, we don't know who the quarterback is. For some reason, I don't know why, I feel like when we turn this game on, I feel like I'm going to see Garoppolo taking the snaps. That's just how I feel personally. I think the Patriots are up to something.
Very well could be.
You know what I'm saying? I really feel that. But that being said, even if Garoppolo does go in, we do talk about Houston. And when we talk about Houston, we have to talk about their defense that has been pretty impressive this season. They beat the Chicago Bears 23-14. They also beat the Kansas City Chiefs 19-12. I'm more impressed with the Chief win and impressed with them holding the Chiefs to 12 points. Now, we know the Chiefs aren't a scoring juggernaut, but still, I am impressed with them being able to hold the Chiefs to the 12 points. I think anytime you go hold an NFL team under 2 touchdowns, that's a pretty impressive feat by any defense for the most part. Talk about J.J. Watt, because you cannot not talk about him when you talk about the Houston Texans, as he's, considered the greatest thing that ever played football for some reason. I think he's pretty good. I don't necessarily think he's the greatest thing that ever played. You talk about what the Big Brat has been able to done this season. I'm still kind of out on the limb with him, not really believing in him 100%. 41 for 68, 499 yards through the air, slightly impressive. 3 touchdowns, very impressive. 3 interceptions, not that impressive. So, there's still, the jury's out. Now, the thing that we talk about with this Houston Texas team, DeAndre Hopkins is their featured wide receiver.
Yes.
Exciting guy, get his. But Fuller right now has 9 receptions for 211 yards and 1 touchdown. And when you look at a coach like Bill Belichick, and Bill Belichick likes to do that bend but don't break. So I would not be surprised if Bill Belichick's meetings with the defense this week somewhat went, okay, listen, we're going to try to let DeAndre Hopkins get relatively what he can get without going crazy. The guy we absolutely do want to shut down, though, is going to be Fuller. We want to shut Fuller down. We want to not get him any receptions or keep his receptions down to under 5 and keep his yardage well under 100 yards, because what you end up having is you got a guy who gets all the meat and potato yards up and down the field. He's probably your third down go-to guy and getting those, getting him in those great situations where they're only at 3rd and 3 because he picked up 7 of the yards, maybe on 2nd down with a pass through the air. Belichick's going to look to eliminate that and eliminate that side and eliminate that additive to the game, which will make the Texans one-dimensional. And maybe the Texans will start focusing a little bit more on DeAndre Hopkins, which when you get a quarterback like Brock Osweiler with not a lot of NFL starting experience, sometimes he can be kind of pushed into looking in a particular direction. With a coach like Belichick, they'll be able to capitalize on some of those mistakes. So I would look for Belichick to probably try to implement something like that into his game plan.
Well, you know that the Houston Texans don't dazzle you offensively. Definitely. I mean, they're only scoring 21 points a game. It's almost like they're playing the game manager role, similar to Kansas City. That's why that game was so tight. Now, when you look at these particular teams and you look at the situation, and when you look at how they performed last week, I watched the Dolphin-Patriot game to front to back, and I did notice that when Garoppolo went down, kind of a little bit of a step back as far as morale was concerned. But I did watch my concerns. I had concerns about the Patriots, and I had basically a very big compliment on the Patriots. First of all, my concern was that the secondary got torched by Booty Ryan Tannehill. He murdered them in the second half. Garoppolo does not play defense, period. Okay, so that's something you got to take a look at. Not this. I mean, who do you like better? You like Ryan Tannehill or Brock Osweiler, Dream?
Neither.
Exactly, neither. Right? So that was the bad side. The good side was that, and I was all over this, the New England Patriots offensive line has vastly improved. The Dolphins just could not get to the quarterback, Dream. And you've got one of the best defensive lines in football that could not get to the quarterback. So that tells you something, that they have definitely worked on that in the offseason and have been protecting their quarterback. So you want
I just want to comment on that for 1 second. There is a big difference between the way Garoppolo gets rid of the ball and the way Tom Brady does.
Agreed.
I believe that Tom Brady at times wants to really throw the long ball a lot and will take that extra 2 to 3 seconds to try to get something further downfield. Garoppolo, they've dumbed down the offense. They want him dumping that ball in like 1 to 2 seconds, 3-step drop, get rid of the ball, 3-step stop, get rid of the ball. And you can see that with, when he's at the helm. So while I will say that the offensive line is improved, also Garoppolo's ability to get rid of the ball very quickly is some of the difference as well.
But he had all day in a lot of situations.
Well, we wouldn't know that because he got rid of it so quick.
Yeah, but there was times where he didn't, Dream. I watched it. Like 2 or 3 different occasions. There was like a 3rd and long, so he was looking far down the field. Sure. And he had all day. Sure. So I'm just saying that the offensive line has improved. Looking at this particular game, guys, with all the intangibles in this game, with all the unknowns, with everything that's going on, whether it's Brissett or Garoppolo at the helm, tough game for me to call. I don't like it. And I think I have to stay away from it, unfortunately. I think I'm going to just kind of see what FSN Info has on this one, to be honest with you, because they got this in part of their package. So looking at it here, I mean, Houston versus New England, 1-6 straight up in the last 7 when playing the New England Patriots. Any thoughts here?
None.
No? Gonna sit back and watch, right?
Sit back, player.
All right, good for you. Me too. So, Dream, the hour flew by. Welcome to Thursday.
Definitely
and ready for Friday tomorrow.
Definitely ready for Friday tomorrow. We got some things on board. We got some things coming up this weekend, gang. Another full weekend of football. We got college football on Saturday. Obviously, the NFL on Sunday. Can't wait. Excited. Dr. Dizzle may be back in the house this weekend. Me and Danny had a back and forth in a minute.
Right. I'm looking forward to fireworks.
We've been on the same page a lot.
Yeah, you have.
So it hasn't really been that kind of season this year. We've been on the same page a lot. And, luckily for Dan, I'm a big believer in this New York Giant team. I've been very impressed with what they've been able to do. And I know he'll be excited. But I got to tell you something. Don't let the Metropolitans get swept by the Phillies.
Oh, imagine
Doctor will not be feeling me. Will not be feeling me when I come into the doctor's office.
He's been really good because he's actually agreed when the Mets have sucked.
Okay.
He has. So, looking at it here, hey, best of luck to all you Metropolitan fans out there. I'm with you, and I hope they could turn it around. And having the Phillies play, I believe it's 7 out of 10 games are playing the Phillies. They got to play 1 set with the Miami Marlins in between. So the Mets have a pretty good shot at making some noise here after all, getting into the wild card and throwing Thor on the bump versus whoever. So that's going to do it for us, Dream. We are ready to rock.
No doubt. Hey, gang, we loved it. The hour went by very fast. We had a great show. Thank FSN for coming on and gracing us with their information as always. And thank all of our upcoming guests and guests that have been on in the past. Listen, want to thank everybody that's out there retweeting the show. We got Jay Snyder, Joseph Del Rosario, the incredible Marley Mars out there, D1 Locker, welcome to the party, Frank Vinculato, Bees Knees, Yip at 82, Terrence Mack, Vegas Girl, 92661. We got Mike in the house. We got Scott Weavers. Good to see you, brother. Just had a little bit of clowning with you. Don't take that personal. You know how we do. I hope Clemson tears the roof off tonight for you, brother, because I know that's your team, and I wish you the best of luck with them. C. Rodriguez Jr. is out there. My man Irvin. What's going on, Irv? Jeff Ryan's in the house. JC, JDH24, Sir Mata, Jason Riley, OJFB, Wooch GG, and Theory Bashar, just name a few. Gang! Thank you so much for listening. Tell a friend, tell a family member, tell anybody you can about the crazy guys here at the SBTV Nation. We do it for you just to have some fun. We talk about a little bit of sports with a splash of gambling, and we're going to get out of here. I'm the Dream. Always remember who you with. Make the most of each and every day, as you cannot get this time back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Dream, we're getting ready for the big show tomorrow with the legends coming back. The Vegas Takedown is going to be among us for Friday. And then we've got the whole...
tomorrow,
we got Scott Matthews from SM Picks. And I believe we've got Mr. Jim Feist joining us yet again.
Awesome.
So I'm looking forward to tomorrow's show and the weekend where we break down...
I'm going to be able to be on with him.
We'll have to have that conversation if you get cut off.
Go to back bus with it. I'm about to have Al Sharpton in the NAACP out here.
Exactly. And let's see what else. We got the whole weekend of college and pro football. And on Monday, we're bringing back Big Splee. We love you to death. Go out there, go easy, rise and grind. Make all your dreams a damn reality and get that money. Let's go.